Breaking news this morning, we are getting live images from a crew in Baton Rouge. That's to the west of the eye of the storm. Ida, now a tropical storm. At this hour, the cover of darkness really hiding any potential damage we're going to see in Louisiana.
I'm just amazed they can actually get through those roads there because we've seen so much flooding. But the flooding is a potential threat right now that many states are dealing with. So let's get to CBS's Michael George. He joins us this morning from New Orleans. Good morning, Michael. We've been watching you all night long, bracing yourself with Hurricane Ida, which is now a tropical storm. But what is it feeling like now?
Well, I can tell you that Ida has moved out of the area, so the wind and the rain have died down considerably. That said, there is still a very real danger here in New Orleans. This morning, people are dealing with rising floodwaters. They're dealing with a complete power outage throughout the city of New Orleans. And the biggest concern right now, 911 systems are down in many communities. So people who are trapped, who are in danger of these floodwaters reaching them, are having a difficult time accessing help, and rescuers are having a tough time getting to them.
So it sounds like they have to wait until the sun comes up. You've listed a lot of issues. Are you getting the sense that there are still people who decided to ride the storm out, Michael?
Yeah, there are. Unfortunately, some people either had no choice, they didn't have the resources to evacuate days ahead of time, or they decided to hunker down and just try and weather the storm indoors. That said, there are some areas that are really cut off from the rest of the city because of the floodwaters. Again, this is a storm that even surpassed Katrina in terms of wind speed, in terms of rainfall. So this is the biggest hurricane that a lot of people here have ever experienced. So the estimates did accurately predict how this storm played out. However, the floodwaters are just too much right now for rescuers to really reach people. We're hoping that as the day goes on, they're able to get closer to those people who are trapped.
And Michael, quickly, let's talk about the flood walls, because we know those were an issue during Katrina and how they just could not withstand that hurricane. What are you hearing this morning in terms of their capabilities with what we're seeing with Ida?
Well, so far we have not heard of any major breakages of the flood walls or the levees. Again, billions of dollars were spent after Katrina to reinforce and strengthen those systems. They failed during Katrina, and that was a big reason why there was such a catastrophic loss of life. Now, again, no reports of any serious breakages. We are hearing some scattered reports of overflows rather than a complete breakage of the flood walls, some overflows of the levees and the flood walls. But again, this is still an evolving situation, so it remains to be seen if they have in fact worked until we get later in the day, until the sun comes up and we see the extent of the damage.
All right, Michael George, thank you so much for your work and for joining us this morning.